serious and you're looking for a Christ man, the one who anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord to do his will, I'm that nigga.
One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put y'all faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play cause y'all gon' make a money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on clock on slave ship. What the fuck he do for blacks in his administration? I'm waiting, patient like a saint. Black, Hispanic, Native, they hate your ass the same. Hate Christ in they image, paint you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say you hate African soft niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in the cell toilet connected to the sink. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King's dream. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. You don't know the truth, then the lies sound promising. Prophecy, gift and a curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the UVK, taught me the art of war. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville and I found the truth. I called the school, classes being held by the shock on my life. I want to be a gangster like a child. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. UPK the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under Yahanna, ain't he murdered by them and got a hug from Yahanna. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolf in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priest bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, ranking order. Can't let them shoot me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ice ages. I got the name changed, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game, put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. There's more of us in jail than it was slaves. Chose by the Lord, we could never be the same. Soon as they born, the wicked go astray. They left the truth, they went with us anyway. Niggas weak, they just saying anything to be truthful. We don't want no cowards anyway. Look, coronavirus, that's a plague. You don't get too much sleep when you waking up the dead. First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they live. I'm a priest, I never stick no pork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church. Came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church.
One West world. First everybody. Bitch, this is more than what they ever played us. Living by, put me in the gas. Born in 91, pumping 90. Winter, Chevy pill, like a nectarine. But I keep it. It's more than what they ever played us. Living by, put me in the gas. Born in 91, pumping 90. They fraud, man, I'm too legit. Off the thermostat, can't hold me back. Trying to check my check. Had my weight, run my plate, really busy. Really in this field. Checking it, check me out when in doubt. I'm gonna make my bread. Never lose, niggas. Food is a feast. Just know we all gon' eat. Niggas slick on my shit, pop my shit. My bro say this shit greasy. She don't like the message. I kick wisdom. I'm just rude as speech. Tell my side, but not too much. They feel me. I know talk is cheap. I'm controlling it from a distance. This how it's supposed to be. Give her what she never had. Now she can't get over me. I understand they don't want a man. They just want company. Shorty know I'm all about my gravy. Trying to smother me. Get from under me. I ain't had no silver spoon. This shit come from. Yo, Lot. These niggas stuck, man. Yeah.
Wow. I've been eating pot belly, greasy face, Glock heavy. Feed the safe, talking shit, do not tell me. I don't wanna see the hate, all that shit do not help me. I'm just trying to plead my case to the most high. Pray I see the gates. Odds about the Cancun, but we just got the house instead. Covered all of their payment, and now she got the bobblehead. Looking at me like dinner, she said she about to gobble lead. Point the beam like a pencil, and then you gotta swallow lead. Point the beam like a pencil, and then you gotta swallow it. Pack my bag with essentials, I can't forget the hollow tip. Niggas losing they mental, and Satan come demolish it. Niggas all on they menstrual and get the whining like a bitch, just like iron, they rust. Niggas trying, they luck, keep it real. Everybody out here lying, save us, steady raising dead. They was out here lying, then dust. Niggas on my head, so the brotherhood is a must. Any hood, I be riding with my brothers that I trust. Know I'm good, cause they sliding with their fingers on the clutch. Money piling like I'm trying to make it stack in the rush. One west to the death, and that ain't even enough, cause I'm coming back. I ain't never done with that, gonna hit and spread your lies. I'ma let you run with that, wanting me to spread the thighs. I ain't having fun with that, nigga, hell no. Now she wanna chop it up like a lumberjack. Got some exes popping up, trying to run it back. Want me come and hit the hole like a running back. If the Lord take a soul, ain't no coming back. On my soul couldn't fold like 100 racks. I'm down for my niggas, I up for my niggas. I go and do the time, stay stuck for my niggas. I ride for my niggas, I die for my niggas. One west to the death, no lie, little nigga. I'm down for my niggas, I up for my niggas. I go and do the time, stay stuck for my niggas. I ride for my niggas, I die for my niggas. One west to the death, no lie, little nigga.
The full Nicky on my waistline like a big nigga. No limit, I'm a tank, close, ain't hit different. We focus on who around, not concerned with who's missing. My boots digging, never been a house shoe. She don't like it, but she love me. I can tell when she want me. Tell, then I zip the body bag like a onesie. Dropping every day, let my feel clumsy. Through the pain, but we don't find shit funny. I know enough that I don't know shit. But it's one thing I know this. Never bite the end that feed you. Never lend a whole shit. We don't want half of the world, man. We coming for this whole shit. But in the world, I was known to pack bags like a road I'm trip. In the den with the lions. I be living this in real life. Ain't everything, but you gon' lose your soul. That's a real price. Getting led by a coward. I don't know what that feel like. Black on black toes to my head. I can't kill Christ.
I'm down for my niggas. I up for my niggas. I go and do the time, stay stuck for my niggas. I ride for my niggas. I die for my niggas. One west to the death, no lie, little nigga. I'm down for my niggas. I up for my niggas. I go and do the time, stay stuck for my niggas. I ride for my niggas. I die for my niggas. One west to the death, no lie, little nigga.
Sure if it's scanning. We live. I don't see
Shalom,
myself.
shalom.
Okay. All right, shalom. Let me turn the mic up.
You hear yourself?
Yeah, I can hear myself.
Sure.
Yeah, positive. Hey man, welcome to another edition of Cross the Line Radio.
Yeah.
With your host, Captains TAZARYACH, Officer Shagapan, CHAATAZA is on the way, Commander Jenny Yahanna is on the way. Got General Hyman in the building. Gonna be a fire show we got lined up for y'all. Y'all know, as always, make sure you're paying your tithes to the priests and prophets of the Lord. The only place you should be paying them is ISCBK.
Facts.
Next event we got coming up in about 2 weeks, we're going to be in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Woo. For the cult cookout. That's what they call it. I like the term cult. My cult's better than your church. That's a t-shirt right. Too.
You know, they're having a basketball game too.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch though. I'm gonna watch.
You're not a
I'm
ball player?
Nah, I was. I ain't running up and down that court now. They'll be like, hey man, let Cap
But you in shape though.
let Cap just debate. Yes, I'm in gym shape. I ain't in basketball shape. That's two different things. You run me up and down that court a couple times, they be like, man, get Cap behind the keyboard. Get him off the basketball court. Let the young men listen. That's why we got the young men. They ready, they train, they gonna bounce that basketball. We're gonna have a good time. Fayetteville, the festivities start July 3rd. Gentleman Hyman will be teaching the scripture breakdown class, and it's going down. So make sure if you're in the Fayetteville, North Carolina area, I'll be touching down. Hey, CHAATAZA's here. You can put him on the screen too. He's on the screen.
Hey, Shalom, you Shabrak Thumb.
Hey, Shalom.
Shalom,
Yeah,
sir.
what's going on, CHAATAZA?
What's happening, Captain?
What's going on, man? So I'll be hitting North Carolina July. I think I'm getting in North Carolina July 2nd because I'm going to the sister, but I want to make sure
Wednesday,
I say
Thursday?
this brother's name right. Tuesday. I'll be down there Tuesday. No, Wednesday.
Who you
I'll be down there
driving down
Wednesday. Driving down there with Nakazai, my son.
you
That boy drive me crazy.
You got room for me?
CHAATAZA.
Where you staying at?
I don't know yet.
Look
Spirit of brotherhood.
at it. Look at it.
North Carolina said I could come down whenever.
Faith and brotherhood.
In North Carolina
Yeah.
concert.
Faith and brotherhood, boy.
Faith and brotherhood.
I want to get this brother's name right, who's rib. Bataza Yawan. I always say his name, Bataza Yawan. His rib, she did a hell of a job of my hair for the Passover, so she's gonna do my hair again.
Oh, she goated.
Yeah, she definitely got. I think I'm gonna do the same
Platinum status.
hairstyle. I'm a simple man, so I may do the same hairstyle she did last time. So I'll be down there Wednesday, but the festivities start Thursday. So look forward to that. I know we got Big Cap. I think Cap, where you at right now?
I am in Chicago.
Chi-Town.
Big up to Chi-Town. I believe you're doing something with the Midwest Monster. Midwest Monster Mayhem tomorrow, right?
Midwest.
Katawakan. So Captain Mawakwa, you know what I'm saying, has graciously invited me over to the round table of truth. And we're gonna be discussing, the forgotten past, you know what I'm saying, of the fight for liberation that blacks and Latinos have had inside of America, you know what I'm saying, throughout history as they try to play us against each other, and that our liberation is each other's responsibility, and that we are not only allies, but we are family. So I need everybody to tune in. But you know what I'm saying? I talked to Cat Mawakwa. We was laughing. I'm like, man, you Judites is racist, man.
Listen, I was told today, I was told that I am showing favoritism to the Latinos.
But let me tell you why I'm crying racism, right?
I had a black woman call in and tell me I was showing favoritism to the Latinos. Go ahead, CHAATAZA.
You remember when you played Suavemente?
Yeah, woo!
So
Don't
so
get me started. Hey, I don't want to kill her. I don't want.
Cat Mawakwa made a promo, and it was like, I'm Boricua, and I was like, listen, man, when I start my Puerto Rican channel, I'm playing Sam Cooke when y'all come on. You know what I'm saying? Change gonna come.
Here's the crazy part. When I played the Suavemente, Cop was hating, but they was loving that Suavemente, man. You telling me they weren't loving it?
Next time, just play cent, 5 cent, 10 cent, dollar.
Well, you didn't come up with a song. You should have said, "No, I got a better one."
Yeah, just play Nas.
No. But I'm gonna tell you, even if you play Nas, there's a reason why when a brother is from the Northern Kingdom, when they teaching, they speak in Spanish, because if you speaking in English, that sounded crazy. Notice me no speaking the English. If you speak in English, even if you're Hispanic, they gonna look like you assimilated. But if you speak the Spanish or play the Hispanic music, then they're gonna feel like we're joined. So that's why it's better for them to see you speaking in the Hispanic tongue with the Judite, and we join together. You playing that Latin music with the blacks. Now we're joined together. If you do it the other way, then it's like we're not really joined. It's like somebody is leaving their culture. So it's better if we could blend together. Come on, Cot.
Well, hola, ¿cómo estás, mi amigo?
Yeah, ven aquí to the ladies. Listen. You know what? When the black woman said that I was showing favoritism, I said, you know what? I do not have a Northern Kingdom wife, so I'm on the hunt.
This man needs just do another interview.
I'm on the hunt.
We gonna get, you know what? We gonna get Cap on Telemundo.
Yeah, Simeon, Gad, Naphtali, Manasseh, Issachar. I mean, then I really be showing favoritism. So, let me go and get a Northern Kingdom. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Welcome to the Cross the Line Radio Show, as I said.
Oh, wait, bienvenido and across the line.
As I know, we got Commander Jenny Hunter coming. I was just saying a little while ago. The phone lines are wide open, 917-779-9499. Also, if you want to come and join on the stream live, you can join on the stream live. Hey, CHAATAZA, I had sent Aisha 2 videos that I wanted to talk about while we're waiting on Commander Jenny Hunter. One is an old video, but it seems to be picking up a lot of traction. And one is a new video. So I want you to do the first email. No, the one above that. Yeah, that one. So this is an old video, but I thought this was so befitting because what I'm noticing, this video was picking up a lot of traction because in the Christian church, you have a lot of women trying to take over. And so when y'all watch this video, is that a caller? Let's see if that's a caller. Jesus Christ, how many windows you got open, brother? Everything out, you might want to close some of the windows. We got 2 callers on there. We're gonna go to the callers first. You gotta bring them callers. You might have too many windows, Aisha. Well, if you like me though, see, I be saying this. I don't really have ADHD. I'll just use it as a slang. I don't know. Be black. I don't know. But the way my brain work, watching Aisha, I know why he has all the windows. But looking at him work the windows is blowing my mind right now. But you can bring the callers on, brother.
925.
Shout out to Maria Stevens. She said the application being approved for me to get a Northern Kingdom ribs. So we on
but it's in Spanish.
I don't care. Listen, General Hyman is inspiration. Listen, General Hyman be speaking that damn Hispanic. I mean, god damn. He blows my mind. Like when I'm sitting there, I'm gonna know the moment. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, so if he can learn it, for sure I'm about to get up in there and learn it. Have her teach it to me. Bring the callers. A 925. Aisha, we can't see the. Well, you got to say it or something.
925. You're on the air. State your name and where you're calling from.
This brother gonna drive me.
Okay. Hi, my name's Mark, and I'm from Brentwood.
Okay.
What's up?
Brentwood, California.
All right, Mark from Brentwood. You got a question or a comment?
Yeah, I have like 3 quick questions, if that's okay.
Yeah.
All right. My first question is.
You sound familiar. You sound Are you European?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound like this. I don't know if it's a white guy I dealt with before, but you sound familiar. But go ahead. What's your question?
All right. My first question is the present day Israel the historical Israel?
It's a part of historical Israel. So like that whole Middle Eastern region, all of that is Israel.
Okay. My second question is, what is the best evidence that somebody would want to research, aside from, interpreting biblical prophecies or biblical writings, that black people are the original Israelites?
I'm going to show you, and you because you say you're European. Go to Acts 13:1. I'm going to show you something. Go to Blue Letter Bible. I'm going to play something for you. Go to blueletterbible.org. I'm going to tell you something, right? We've been pronouncing this word wrong in the Bible. When we read Acts 13:1, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to give you some historical proof inside the Bible. Now go to Acts.
Okay.
So now I'm going to read Acts 13:1, and I'm going to read it how we normally would read it. So let me see it outright first. I'm going to read it how we would normally read it if we was on the street. It says, now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger, and Lucius and Cyrene and Menon, which had been brought up from Herod the Tetrarch. So now when we would break down this verse, we would highlight the word Niger and say that's where the N-word would come from, or Negro would come from, because that's what it means. But when you click it, I want to show you how we've been saying this word wrong. Let me show you how they pronounce it in the Greek. Let's go to that word. Now, I want you to listen very carefully. I'm going to blow your mind. Play that word.
6. Niger. Niger.
Play it again. Play it again. Play it again.
Strong's G 3526. Niger. Niger.
So who was the niggas in that verse? I'm asking you.
As far as I can see, Simon.
Right. The Israelites.
Simeon.
Right. It would be the Israelites. So when we look at the Bible has always described the Israelites. When it's given a physical appearance, it's always described them as what today would be called blacks. The reason why I say today be called blacks, because melanin, Arabs have melanin. Arabs could be black. East Indians could be black. But the term or coined phrase of black as far as a race has always been ascribed to us. And so we're the Israelites. You can go further. We can go Deuteronomy 28:68, Jeremiah 14:2.
But I mean, who is it ascribed by? It was ascribed by a liar, wasn't it?
Who's a liar?
Who gave him this word?
Who gave who the word?
Who gave black people this name?
Oh, you know who gave your ancestors.
Right, so my ancestors are liars, so why should I care what he says?
Because they're not going to lie about the definitions of words. And that's the beauty of it is that, remember, your European ancestors, when they gave us this book, did they tell us we were the people of the book when they gave it to us?
I don't believe so, no.
Right. So they had this information in the Bible the whole time. So they didn't have, if they wanted to change something, they could have changed it. It wouldn't have said nigger like it just said. It might have said white. It might not be the Latin word for black. It might be the Latin word for white if they wanted to lie about it. But the truth was in there. And so now once we get a hold of that truth, those are the earmarkers we use to identify that you and your people and the so-called Jewish man could never be the children of God. And it could only be us.
Well, here's the thing. It says that one person had this name, Simeon or Simeon. It says that he was called this name. Oh, it doesn't say they were all called this name.
That's all of them. So, like, when you go in the description of Christ, is Christ described as black or is Christ described as something else?
Referring to Christ's color in Revelation, it says bronze, which is not black.
Bronze? Okay, nobody's pitch black. Hold on one second. Nobody's pitch black. Black, if you look at the color black of a crayon, if you go outside and it's black outside, nobody is that black. We just talk about a derivative of brown. You're not white. You're not a piece of paper, right? You're not white like a piece of paper, but those are bywords that y'all put on us. And that's an example in Deuteronomy 28, and I believe verse 37, when it says, we shall become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword. So we wouldn't be called by a true name. We would be called by different names because of the captivities that we were in. So when it describes Christ, it describes him as having woolly hair, which is another lie your European ancestors did, because the image that y'all have of Christ, he does not have the woolly hair of him from the book of Daniel and the book of Revelations. He doesn't have skin of bronze as if it burned in the furnace with the image that y'all portray as Christ. So the only liars are y'all with the outward presentation, like the artwork. The artwork that y'all present is where y'all lie at. When you go read the text doesn't lie. Right.
Right. I don't think you really address what I was saying. Like, so if you're gonna describe someone's skin color as bronze, if we look The people who match
Bruh.
the skin color of bronze are like brown people, Middle Eastern people. If I was gonna use something in nature to describe the skin of
brown.
so-called black people, I wouldn't use bronze. I would say
brown.
coal, maybe.
Hey, relax, dude. Am I brown? I'm brown right now. What are we talking about here? Here's the most important part. He wasn't white like y'all lied about, right?
Right.
So who I'm gonna believe? You or me?
So are you African American or are you African?
Answer that. Who am I gonna believe? You or me?
Well, you're gonna believe what you want to believe, I guess.
No, don't do that. Because and this is what white people like to do when the truth come out. You representing your European ancestors lied on the images in the Bible, correct?
Yeah.
Thank you. So why would I ever take you as the authority when I just read it and I'm looking for a man with woolly? Just think about this. Imagine if somebody committed a crime against you. Let's say somebody robbed you in the night, stuck you up, but you saw them. The first thing that happens is a sketch artist comes and you start giving a description of the assailant that you saw, right?
Right.
So now, if you give the image, and so you say the assailant had woolly hair, the assailant has skin of bronze, but then when they put out the APB for him, and it looks like that stringy-haired, blind-eyed white man, you're gonna say that's not the image I described. How can we find the person that did it? So what your European ancestors did was gave us a false image of Christ. And what did we do with that false image of Christ? We prayed to that Christ. We bowed to that Christ. And we worship the people that we believe that Christ came from, all based on a lie. So now when we come in as the true children of Israel, the most important reason for bringing out the true image of Christ, the true image of the Israelites, the true image of the Most High, is so that we can worship that authority the right way. And you know what else this proves before I let you answer the first question? That you would rather lie on God before you serve a black one. That's also what's true. Y'all love the Bible. Y'all love the words in the Bible, but you hate the fact that the Bible is a black man's book. You hate the fact that the Bible is a black God, a black king, and black people. And so you replace them. You can ask your next question.
Okay. Well, I would say that wool does not describe the texture of wool is nothing close to what an African hair is like. It is more close to what a Middle Eastern hair is like. But that's okay. The last question would be:
is not that white man's hair, though, right? That y'all said it was.
No, that's true. That's true.
Right. That's all. And see, that's the most.
But it's not an afro.
And here's the most important thing: woolly hair can be an afro, it can be short, it could be anything.
No.
Here's the most.
I've never seen a sheep or a goat with an afro.
Here's the most important thing: you can't teach the Bible because y'all lie on the Bible. I can teach the Bible because I just tell the truth. I never said a woolly hair was an afro. You brought the afro in it because you would rather be a Middle Eastern person. But let me tell you something: white people won't serve a Middle Eastern God either. You'll only serve. No nation will serve a God that does not look like them. No nation will serve a king that does not look like them. Only the slaves do that. That's blacks and Hispanics. Blacks and Hispanics have been beaten down so much in slavery that we believe that if we serve this white Jesus, we'll go to a better place. Every other ethnicity serves a God that looks like them. What's your last question?
What are Hebrew Israelites, currently doing for themselves right now? Why don't they just separate from the country that they criticize so hardly?
Say that one more time. You got to repeat that again. Say that again.
Okay. What are Hebrew Israelites currently doing for themselves and for their so-called nation? Because it seems to me like they're just continuing to complain about the country that they're refusing to separate themselves from.
Hey, are the Iranians wrong for going to war with the Israelis?
No, probably not. No.
When 9/11 fell, was y'all wrong for bombing innocent men, women, and children?
Yeah.
Y'all was wrong for that.
Yeah.
Did they feel they was wrong for that? Did America feel that they was wrong for bombing after 9/11?
No.
They did not feel that way because they was attacked by what they felt was an enemy, and so they wanted to get that enemy back, right?
Yeah.
So when you say, what are the Hebrew Israelites doing, because it sounds like they're complaining about the country, this is what makes white people so disgusting. Because the only reason you complaining about us complaining about this country is because this is the country that your ancestors built. And you don't want to hear nobody complaining about how great we made America for you. What you would rather us do is say, let's find a way to get along. But there is no getting along with a virus. There is no getting along.
That wasn't the last part of the question, was that you're refusing to separate from, because you could
wait. All you got listening is an art. That's one of the things that I coined. And all you got to do is just keep your mouth shut, and I'll get to that part. But what you would rather us do is not say nothing. Well, black people have not said nothing for a long time in America. I think about 500 years. And all we have ever done is try to assimilate it. I always take this phrase from Gentleman Hyman when he was battling this white woman. There is nobody more patriotic in America than blacks and Hispanics. History proves that. No matter how much slavery y'all give us, we try to fit in with y'all. No matter how much punishment, we try to fit in with y'all. No matter how much torment, we try to fit in with y'all. In civil rights, y'all murdered Martin Luther King, who came at the premise of trying to get along. And you know what? We still tried to get along with y'all. We flew your airplanes, escorted y'all in World War I, World War II, fight, die, and all of your military, and have never reaped none of the benefits. You don't have the authority to even ask, how can we complain about this place? And what are we doing to build ourselves up? Because that's all the Israelites do. But it always will be a European that will say, hey, why are y'all doing that? We should be doing something else. Well, having at the very least, if you're an honest white man, at the very least, at this 500-year experiment, shouldn't we at least think of another option than trying to assimilate with you, since we see that no matter how much we've assimilated, it hasn't worked? Shouldn't we at least see if there's another option?
Yeah, I mean, like, you guys can just go off grid and like kind of do your own thing.
No, but you at least recognize we should at least see if there's a different option, because this option ain't worked. Assimilating with white people has not worked for blacks and Hispanics. It has not.
I'm giving you the option. I'm saying, why haven't you tried that option?
No, I'm good to go through water. So, you want to say something? Come on, yes, sir. Yes.
I think I might understand his confusion and ignorance on the thing. Hey, what's your name, my man? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Mike.
Mike, your question is, say your question one more time.
Sir, if I could.
Please.
Was that the name he said in the beginning? To my audience, because you know white people lie, and I do not recall him saying Mike was his name in the beginning. And I need my chat just to let me know, Jim Hyman, you can proceed.
I totally
but I'm gonna
understand.
let the chat remind me if that's his name. Somebody make sure that his name was Mike, because he paused.
I understand,
So,
Captain Tazaryach, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
I will forgive him any lying that he might be compelled to do, because I know it is in his nature, and I know he cannot help himself. Mike, you can call yourself whatever you want, okay? It's fine. I'm just trying to figure out how you would like me to refer to you. That's all. Would you like me to refer to you as Mike?
Yes.
That's no problem. Now, what was your question, Mike?
Okay, since integration doesn't work, why don't the Hebrew Israelites, who are trying to build up their own Hebrew Israelite nation, just go ahead and start a community somewhere else in an open area, an open land somewhere, and just do their own thing there, and then build up their nation there?
I totally understand. So in essence, you're saying, instead of complaining about white people, why don't we just leave white people, just separate ourselves from white people? Is that I believe that's what you said earlier. Am I correct?
Right.
I completely understand that. Listen, and that's the normal solution for white oppression. You know, you go over to another country, you go to Liberia.
Right.
You go to like the Liberians did that a long time ago, right? They went to Liberia, you go to Jamaica, you go to some country in the Middle East, and instead of complaining, people always wonder, listen, if you don't love America, leave it. Is that basically your point, Mike? If you don't love it,
I mean, you don't have to leave the landmass, but you can leave the society and go make your own society. Stop talking like us, stop dressing like us, stop going to our schools. Just leave us alone. You know, stop getting on our Medicaid and our food assistance.
Using your public schools, using your Medicaid.
Right. That's what I thought.
Mike, I completely understand. Mike, however, in the Israelite School of UPK, we decided to do a revolutionary thing. I know most white people say instead of complaining, leave it. You don't love America, leave it. I understand that. I do notice you didn't tell that to Donald Trump. Donald Trump decided he didn't love America, he would change it. Elon Musk decided he didn't like America. He decided to fix it, to change it. But whenever black people, Hispanics, complain about America, we have to leave. If Republicans don't like America, they change it. America, Donald Trump said he will make America great again.
That's right.
Because America wasn't great. No one said, Donald Trump, if America isn't great, leave America.
Right.
No one told him that. Elon Musk is an African immigrant. He said America is full of waste and fraud and misspending. He fixed it. No one told him, leave America, Elon, go back to Africa. No one told him that. Well, whenever black people complain about poverty, about oppression, about being sold, about being lied to, Slucky, sir, they always tell us, don't complain, leave. Mike, we're going to do a revolutionary thing in the Israelite School of UPK. We're not going to leave. We're going to do what Donald Trump did. We're going to do what Elon Musk did. You know what we're going to do, Mike? Blacks and Hispanics are not going to leave America. Blacks and Hispanics are going to make you leave. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to leave. Donald Trump hated America, said America is stupid. They're weak. They're terrible. He didn't have to leave.
That's right.
You made him president. Elon Musk said America's dumb. They're stupid. People take advantage of them. He didn't have to leave. You put him in the government. We're not going to leave America, Mike. We're going to become the government here. We're going to take over America, and you're going to leave. That's what we're going to do. We're not going anywhere. You're leaving, Mike, and we're going to rule the world. And we're going to stay right here, just like Elon Musk did, just like the Klan did, just like Donald Trump did. Why is it white people are able to hate the country and stay here? They stay right here. No one said, Donald Trump, don't make America great. Leave America. If you don't think America is great, leave. No one said that. Mike, we're not going to leave. You are. You understand, right?
And so how do you plan on doing that, becoming the government and kicking white people out? How do you plan on doing that? Waiting on some Jesus to come do it for you?
Mike, that's the best question. How do we plan on getting you to leave? That's the best question. This is how we're going to do it, Mike. We are going to stop doing drugs, stop committing crime, stop being LGBT, stop celebrating Christmas. We're going to give up New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. We're going to give up Halloween. We are going to make ourselves perfect before God. And God is going to get rid of you. That's right. And we're going to stay. You understand?
Appreciate the call. Thank you. Oh, you want
sir?
No, he can go. Oh, okay, come on.
I can add it to the area.
Yeah.
Let me get. I think you got turned on.
Yeah, console. I thought I turned on. Yeah. You good to go, sir. Yep.
1, 2. Okay. Can you give me that scripture where the Christ?
Let me make sure that's on, sir. So, test the check. It was on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It was on.
One, two, one,
Can you
two.
test
Yeah, this
with the
one
other
is on.
mic? 'Cause this one.
Give me that scripture where Christ said, "Beware the leaven of the
Test it.
Pharisee."
Okay, kind of what kind of say. That's
Which-
Luke. Yeah, I got you.
Which that scripture is probably even gone beyond just who he was talking about at the time. We living in a world that's full of hypocrisy. Now, what Mike is saying, Mike, the white people got tired of the Mexicans. And they complained about the Mexicans. And nobody told white people, if you don't like the Mexicans, leave.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Instead, the people they complained about, they told them to leave.
Right.
But when it comes to blacks or Hispanics or anything like that, if we complain about anything, they tell us to leave. Why don't you leave? But they never have to leave. It's never even a thought that should they leave. Like hypocrisy is how this place operates.
Yes, sir.
And the minute we start really recognizing the hypocrisy, we'll start standing up for what's right and not for hypocrisy. Go ahead and read it for me.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Slot.
No, yeah, I got it.
Okay, okay.
Sir. Yes, sir. Luke 12:1. In the meantime, when they were gathered together, an innumerable multitude of people, insomuch that they trode one upon another, he began to say unto his disciples, first of all, beware ye of the leaven of the Pharisees.
Beware of the leaven. Beware of what they put in. Leaven is put in bread so it could rise. And that bread rises and spreads and becomes bigger and greater. And Christ said, first of all, beware this leaven that goes in these black leaders, which is carried down from the masters, the white ones. Go ahead,
which is hypocrisy.
Which is hypocrisy. What does it mean to be a hypocrite?
That's right.
To be a hypocrite means to say one thing, but you actually do another.
Mm-hmm.
You tell black people, if you don't like it, stop complaining and leave. But when white people complain about the Mexicans, you don't tell them stop complaining and leave. White people are all over the internet right now talking about they have black exhaustion. Is that the term they use?
Yeah, black.
They got black exhaustion, black fatigue, black fatigue.
Right,
yeah.
That's crazy.
Black fatigue. Water also too, man. Water for having me on the show.
Anytime, man. Give it up to Commander Yahanna.
The water for coming, sir.
Big
shout out to Captain CHAATAZA. Is he on with us as well? Most High pray.
Big
shout out to you, Cap. Like when white people do it, don't nobody tell them shut up. If you don't like it, leave. And let me tell you something that was so great about white supremacy. White supremacy puts one people in the position over the other people without having to fire a shot. Like white people don't even have to say or do anything to maintain their white supremacy.
Right.
All they have to do is be hypocrites about what they do, and it automatically puts them in a position of white supremacy.
Right.
Right or wrong. And that's why Christ said to beware of it when it came to our leaders, to beware of allowing them to treat us one way, but we can't treat them the same. And that's exactly what goes on in this kingdom. And to your point, Mike, of us moving to a certain part of the country, but doing the same thing here. That's noble in its words, but it's not real when it comes to reality. What do I mean? If black people separated themselves and begin to take care of themselves and grew, and we became, the mighty nation of Israel. Let me ask you, is he still on?
Nah, sir.
Okay, boy. Let's see if he'll get in the chat. Somebody tell me what would happen if the Hebrew Israelites woke up blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, and it spread all over. And hundreds of thousands, millions. There's 48 million black people in America, 30 million Latinos, according to their last census. That in itself, that's not even Native Americans, which is hard for them to count.
Right.
So right there, that's 73, upwards of 73 to 75 million, the same population of Iran. That's how many blacks and Latinos are in the United States. We have enough blacks and Latinos to be a small country, not even a small country, a huge country.
That's right.
To be a powerful country, a country with hypersonic missiles and nuclear weapons.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much people we have. So what, for Mike and whoever else is in the chat room, answer this question for me. Let's imagine for a minute that 20 million blacks and Latinos, 30 million blacks and Latinos combined, got together, woke up to the truth. What would America do?
Mm.
What would they do? What would a hypocrite do? That's what I want to know.
Right.
What would a hypocrite do? Any answers? You get any answers? Let's read them.
If we getting any answers too, and check the lines. Are you taking any calls?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, sure. Whatever you want to do, Cap. I appreciate it.
So it's just a couple of calls on there. One is a nutbag. We can wait for him. I know the number by heart.
Okay,
but I don't know who the other two. Yeah, he called.
Yeah, some serious.
Yeah, he called every week without, and he be good for like the first 2-3 minutes. But too much God hate white people, he loses mind. Too much. He just start interrupting loud talk. Yeah, like trauma. He's full of trauma.
Give him PTSD.
Come on, sir.
Go.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely want to read those off, but you can bring the caller on too while you get to the super chat. One from Rap to Reality saying, Shalom, thank you for your service. That's to you, Commander General Yahanna.
Most High Christ.
Most High Christ.
Appreciate that.
Sweat.
General Muhammad as well.
General Muhammad, shalom to the generals as
and
well. It's the Commander Jenny Hunter show. Once we get here, it's the Commander Jenny Hunter show.
Super kind.
Super chat like they donated so that funds come to the school. Yes, sir. Kind of one so that's what the super chat means. Sir. You want to get to the calls? Oh, so like we got 843. What is the rest of that? 338. You on Cross the Line Radio? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, Cap. This is Apostle, man.
Hey, what's going on, Apostle?
How you doing, brother?
I'm good to go. How about yourself? Can you hear him, sir?
All right. I hope that wasn't me that comment was about, man.
Okay. Yeah.
General Miami, can you hear? Oh, hold on 1 second, Apostle. You hear him? Okay, kind of one concept. All right, go ahead and say that again, Apostle.
No, I was saying I hope that comment wasn't referring to me.
What comment was that?
You were saying you recognized one of the callers.
Oh no, that wasn't you. No, that wasn't you. I wasn't gonna. I said we ain't bringing him on. I brought you on. No, I'm not talking.
Okay.
I'm not talking. I'm not.
Yeah, man. Blessings, man.
Man, brother.
What?
Listen, I mean, what a blessing. What a blessing tonight.
Most High.
I was not expecting this, brother, to be on the phone with such three powerful brothers to have the opportunity to dialogue with. I was just looking forward to talking to you, Cap, but this is a double portion. What a blessing this is to be able to talk and ask my questions to the generals sitting beside
Damn
you.
right. Clap it up.
Allow
Give it up.
Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah.
That's right.
Yeah, such power. Yeah, I remember reading in the scriptures. The scriptures tells us to abide until he returns.
That's right.
It don't tell us to run nowhere. Right? That's why I didn't understand my early brothers from Chicago running off the Naomi. Why are you running? The scriptures say to abide until I return.
That was heavy.
Yeah.
What you can I ask?
Hope y'all feel the same way.
Apostle, hold on.
Let me ask you.
Slocky, go ahead, Warriors. What'd you say? Sorry.
Yeah, I was saying, I was thinking about the scripture about Hamashiach. Do we teach that was a literal scene in Acts 1 when the Hamashiach was caught up to a cloud? Or do we think that was allegory?
No, that was actual. That was actual, and it had to be actual because it had to be
exactly.
It had
so if that being actual,
Apostle, I don't know. 1 second, Apostle. I don't know if you're struggling to hear Commander Jenny Hunter, but he's trying to respond to you, but he wasn't finished. And I don't know if.
I'm sorry.
I just don't. I don't know if you're hearing him.
Salaki. like what I was gonna say is that it is, first of all, brother, the water for the kind words is rare in this business that you have anybody that speaks kind words to you over the work that we do. You know what I mean? And to have such great men in your company and to respect them, that's a rarity. That's something I almost never see.
Right.
Except within the confines of the body and a small group around that body of people. So to water you for that. It was literal because it had to be proof that he left up out of here.
Right.
And proof that he was coming back. There had to be men that witnessed it.
Right.
You understand? To fulfill that prophecy. And they did witness it and will indeed fulfill that prophecy as it came to pass. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he will fulfill that prophecy, and that's what we're looking for now. That return is definitely coming.
That's right.
To what we started. If I could go back real quick for just a second, can I go back to the hypocrisy?
Yes.
For a second, Warrior, that hypocrisy is how they keep their foot on our neck. And we need to continue. We need to show that hypocrisy towards them. To go back to the brother's point about why don't we just get land and move to a certain section? That's what many blacks, Latino, and Native Indians don't even have to move to another land.
Right.
They already have a separate section of land that's called their own land. Government gives them a full title. The government doesn't even police their land. They police their own land. Yet they can't go forward to helping their people because the white man is a hypocrite. A hypocrite. So for the brother that was asking the question saying, why don't you all go get your land?
That was a devil.
The devil trying to disguise himself as a brother.
No,
he straight up.
Okay. Straight up. Yep. He said he was straight up. Yep.
That makes sense. It would make sense that an Edomite would even ask that question.
Right.
Such a hypocritical question compared to the way his people act. His people are quick to dismiss us and get rid of us. Why is it that they don't dismiss their own when their own complains about other people?
That's right.
And if we were to get on any land, if we grew a stalk of corn, a blade of grass on any land in this empire, the white man wants it. Even if he doesn't say it or take it right then and there, he wants it. And that's all he cares about. And so this is, for that white man, this is spiritual warfare. And that spiritual warfare is fought by you white people by being hypocrites. Do you see the vibe, the spirit on these Edomites when it comes to the Israeli-Iran war? They killing these babies in Gaza. Not that that's our business, but they killing these babies in Gaza. And they killing these babies in Gaza. And then when the bombs hit them, they was amazed. When them Iranians bombed the hell out of them, they lost their mind. Do you know that they locked out other Israelis out of the shelters? The bombs was hitting. They locked the other Edomites out the shelter. They threw the deadbolt like there's no more room. Boom. And locked the other Edomites out and laughed. They laughed. Like, this animal is full of hypocrisy. And of course, you know, every African that became an Israeli citizen and every Jake, like you brought out a very heavy point, brother. You said you don't understand why our brothers went back to Dimona. You're right.
Right.
That was an error that they made. That was a terrible error to go back to that land. Like you said, number one, you don't run. But here is an even more clearer thing. You don't abandon your people. Like, how dumb is that? If you tell white people, leave, you don't like niggas in America, pack your shit up and get up out of here.
That's right.
And go move to whatever country you think white people gonna pack up and move to Uganda, Africa, some other country? No, they not. They're not leaving their people. They're not leaving their power. So yet they ask us to do that. No, we're not leaving our people. You got a lot of these fake groups out here that come out and say, you got to get out of here before it's all over. Come to Ghana, where it's real brotherhood in black country. You go ahead and go to Ghana. when this economy fall, they're going to eat people in Ghana.
Fact.
I'm not going to Ghana. They not eating their own first. They looking for them Americans that got all fatted up over here on GPL-1 drugs and hormones. They looking for them, and they gonna want to cook and eat them. There ain't nothing new to them.
Right.
Hypocrisy is how these people do what they do, and it's an amazing demon because you could just decide you're better than someone else, and when it comes up, you just lie about it.
That's right.
You just lie about it. When they say, well, wait a minute, if you're better than black people, why are black people better than you at sports? Well, we did experiments on them earlier. That's why they that way. You just lie on them. And that's what's done in this raggedy place. They lie on us. But we're not going to lie on ourselves. We're going to tell the truth. We're going to stick together. We're going to grow like you brought out, and we're going to become a great and mighty people. And when we become a great and mighty people, here's the beautiful part. We're not going to become a great and mighty people at the thanks of our slave masters.
That's right.
We're not going to say, slave master, thank you for not bombing us and killing us and allowing us to grow our people and become a mighty nation, because they'll never let us do that. We're going to become that way on our own terms, with our own people, just like every other nation is. I was jealous of Iran. I was jealous. If I could run just for a second more, I was jealous of Iran. Not that I look at them in any great esteem, but the fact that they was able to stand up to the white man and bomb the hell out of their enemies.
That's right.
I could imagine what that must have felt like. Them Iranians was dancing in the streets. Did you see them rallies?
Yes, sir. I saw
Brother,
it.
them rallies, they had more wind in their chest, especially that one where they get in that circle and do what I call it the roller skate dance from Muhammad. Muhammad said they look like they roller skate. I said that shit gonna be called the roller skate dance. They get up in there, brother, and you know what I mean? They do this shit here. It sounds like they saying no more falafel. No more naan bread. Like they mad as hell. And they ready to get it on.
Right.
And take care of their own. You used to always say this, and I'm gonna step out of it. You cannot have love without hatred.
That's right.
There's two sides of the coin. How you gonna love something when there's nothing to hate about that thing if something were to happen? If I love this cookie I got in my hand, then I don't want nobody to take my cookie.
That's right.
But if I don't care about my cookie, anybody could take it. So that's an untrue statement, man. So I just on that.
Damn right. Clap it up.
Yeah. Well, if I can add one other thing to Mike, whatever his name was, we ain't worrying about leaving here, because after they destroyed us here, the Most High is going to come back, fix it up, and give it right back to us. So we ain't got to worry about going to no pie in the sky or no hell below. But we're going to be rejoicing right here on this new earth, on our own land, on our own terms, while they build up our home.
That's right.
And
that right there is a blessing within itself. So I can't wait. Nothing but much respect for y'all. Thanks, Cap, for receiving my phone.
Hey, no problem.
My phone call, man.
No problem at all.
All right.
All right.
Tawada, man. Thank you.
Shalom.
Talk to y'all later. Shalom.
Did you want us to bring anybody else on?
Let's get it in.
Okay.
Full throttle. Unless you.
Yeah, I know I got my fathers on the stage. You know, you act different when fathers be in the house. So. I'll be watching myself. I won't go too crazy.
Your usual slave. I see you hold it back a little bit.
Sisters, don't call it.
Yeah, next week. Hey, didn't I tell you? Yeah, didn't I tell you? This ain't the week to call. This ain't the week to call. You can bring the next caller on. That's 917. What? Let me see. You move too fast. I can't see the number. 917-998. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, my name's Joey.
Name's what?
Joey.
Joey. Okay. What's up, Joey? I got a little reverb behind me. I hear the echo. No, it's not you. It's something. You might want to take.
Yeah, my name's Joey. I'm from Florida.
Okay, Joey from Florida. You got a question or comment?
Yeah, I just got a comment. I'm black, by the way. I just tune in from time to time and
okay.
Just always have a question about, your theory on all of this.
You have a question about what? He said a theory?
About your theories.
Oh, about
your theories
about our theories. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes and I'm just asking respectfully, but don't you think sometimes, you may take on the same characteristics of the person you're saying that you hate?
You saying do we take on the same characteristics of the Christians that we hate?
Not the Christians, but I don't know.
You said the person. You said the person that we hate, we take on his characteristics.
Sometimes it comes off like that. My question to you is it about race?
Okay, sir.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, come on, sir. Yes.
Muhammad, if you're all right. Okay. I was just going to say this, if I could add, that this is not about hate. This is about being just. That's what this is about. This is about a crime.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, have you ever watched the court TV or one of those court shows where they have the victim impact statement?
Yes, I'm aware.
Have you ever seen how those families are when they speak about what happened to their victims and their loved ones?
Yes.
How do they act?
Are you talking about what's the reaction of the?
What are the reactions?
Or the person?
No, of the family members. How do when they bringing up the wife whose husband got killed or the mother whose son got killed? How do they address the court when the court says we're gonna have the victim impact statements, and they come up and then they go ahead and speak? What manner do they do it?
Crying. They're
crying.
Sad.
What?
Sad. They're sad.
They're sad. Crying. What else?
Hurt.
Hurt.
They're hurt.
Yep. Are they angry sometimes?
Yeah, angry.
Do they yell sometimes?
Yep.
Do they curse sometimes?
Yes.
Doesn't sometimes it sound just as angry as the person that did the horrible crime?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
It does sound the same. It sounds the same, but isn't it different? What's the difference between the offender that got convicted and the family member that's given the impact statement? What's the difference between the two of them?
I would say the difference is maybe the person that's giving the impact statement. Like if you're comparing the two, I don't think the person's gonna then, kind of take on the same mindset of we're superior. Like it kind of sounds like just reverse what white people say, but now black people are saying it.
Yeah, it's
and using religion.
But is it reverse? Are they the same? Is the victim the same as the perpetrator? Even though it sounds the same, is the victim the same as the perpetrator? Get me where he's shot.
The victim could
dipped in blood. Say again.
The victim can become the perpetrator. You see cases where the victim becomes the perpetrator.
Wait a minute.
In a lot of situations.
Wait a minute. We have an impact statement. While the family member is giving the impact statement and they angry and they yelling and they cursing, does that family member, are they the same as the perpetrator?
I wouldn't say in that moment when they're giving their impact statement. No.
Not in that moment. It's impossible for them to do it in that moment because the judgment is coming down.
That's right.
So they are not the same, right? I know there's cases where later on down the line, then the victim, the victim's family may reach out to harm the perpetrator. That's what you're talking about, right?
So can the victim become the perpetrator?
I'm asking,
Listen to the question.
If the victim, let's say the court case is over, right? It's been 10 years.
Yep.
The criminal got out of jail. The family member runs into the criminal in the street and kills the criminal just out of anger. Is the victim and the family member, is the perpetrator and the family member the same at that point?
I would say if we're speaking on one specific person, then I would justify it. But if you're using it to
just listen.
Specific case.
He's talking about one specific case. That's what he said.
The victim and the family member, the perpetrator that gets killed by the family member, is the family member the same? Has the family member become the same as the perpetrator?
Yes, the victim then becomes the perpetrator.
Let me explain something to you. Also, get me when he sat upon the judgment seat and the books were open. Like, that's the problem with us, brother. The problem with us is we don't understand what justice is. There's no way the family member is the same as the perpetrator. The Lord even...
But the victim
become perpetrator. Put him on mute for a second. Yeah. Let me explain something to you. The victim, the family member that kills the perpetrator, now in American law, you can't do that. But in God's law, if that family member finds that perpetrator and puts him to death, that's lawful. The Lord even got laws for if you kill somebody by accident, you better flee, like you said, to the sanctuary city. Because if that family member finds you, you're going to get put to death. Are they the same? No. According to God, they're not the same.
That's right.
I'm not telling nobody to go out there and do that. I'm telling you just what the raw law is. So what you don't understand, brother, is you have a fear of having revenge by the hand of the Lord, which don't feel no way. Most black Latino people, they don't know how to have revenge because they've been taught so well in this kingdom to not seek revenge. If you seek revenge, you're the same. We've been taught in churches. When Dylan Ruth went into that church and killed those 9 parishioners, we turned around and said, we forgive you, Dylan Ruth. Yep. When that white cop went in Botham John's house and murdered him in his house, his brother went and kissed and hugged the perpetrator. The court officer combed her hair, and the judge gave her a Bible, and they was all black. We're taught to forgive our oppressors and murderers and killers. We're taught to turn the other cheek for them and not turn the other cheek for us. And because of it, we're victimized all over again. And we should never think we have a sense of justice in this earth. We don't. That's right. We don't. But the Lord does. And guess what? When the Lord's judgment comes, it looks very much like the perpetrator. It looks just like the perpetrator. Let's read, first of all, the vesture dipped in blood. Oh, it looks just like the perpetrator. It's amazing how, it looks the same. The blood is the same. The blood splatter is the same. The wielding of the sword is the same. I really don't see too many differences. But there is a difference. Even though it looks the same. The head comes off the same way.
Right, it comes off
rolls into the basket the same way. But somehow there's a little difference in there.
God, sir.
Let's read and find out.
Revelations chapter 19, verse 13. You want me to start at verse 12, sir?
please.
Yes, sir. Revelations 19 and 12. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself.
Listen, his eyes was as a flame of fire and had crowns on his head. Boy, that looks like a bloodshot, angry, rich man. Go ahead.
Verse 13.
Full of crown.
Yes, sir. And he was clothed
and had a name written that no man knew. No man, break that down for me. Y'all help me out, please.
If I could. Meaning he had such a high reputation with such humility at the same time.
Damn you. That's heavy.
That was
that.
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead. Go ahead.
Concert. Verse 13. And he was.
You want to say something? Okay, go ahead.
And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood.
See that? That sounds very much like a serial killer. Now, if you went to church and said the Bible said Jesus has a vesture dipped in blood, they would say you calling Jesus Christ a serial killer. Not my Jesus. Not my good and wholesome Jesus. How dare you? How dare you say my good and wholesome Jesus was, you know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, he was just that. And it looked just like a killer. And that killer, brother, is going to bring judgment in this earth. Is he the same as the perpetrator? No, he's not. Is he going to look like the perpetrator? Hell yeah.
God, sir. Yes, sir.
Anytime you got on a garment dipped in blood, you only supposed to be doing two things: working in a butcher shop or killing niggas. That's the only, I don't know no other reason. You got a vesture fully dipped in blood. Either you the butcher, you know what I'm saying? Either somebody come in and give me a rack of ribs and give me that shoulder, or you chopping niggas' heads off and the blood stacking up.
That's it.
That's what Christ is going to do. And we don't have that sense of justice. We think, and it's amazing his question, if I could. Can I run a little bit?
Yeah, come on, so yes, sir.
It's amazing his question in that, in his mind, the view of our words that sound like our perpetrator automatically send him into retreat. Automatically send him into, whoa, you looking like the perpetrator. And what's wrong with that? Only thing wrong with it is it's been so ingrained in us by our slave master to not look that way, to make sure you look nice. They told Barack Obama, when Barack Obama got elected president, they told Barack Obama, whatever you do, do not look like an angry man during your presidency. And you know what? Barack Obama got up before both houses of Congress to give the State of the Union address. And some white man said, "You lie," to his face. The president of the United States. And you know what Barack Obama did? Tightened his ass cheeks. You couldn't get them ass cheeks open with a wedge, with a crowbar. Sorry, you had to. Brother, he tightened them ass cheeks like that. So like to use the term. I'm getting better, man. I'm getting better. He tightened up tight because he knew he could not allow himself to look angry, because that is unallowed in America. That's illegal.
It's like, sir, if I could, on what you're saying, you know, his wife, Michelle, said she glad she didn't have a son because she didn't want to raise another Obama. She didn't want to raise an Obama.
Damn, you out?
She said.
Okay, take care, warrior. Good to see you. The water for everything.
And I think it's that same fear that black people are brought up in, like, you can't look aggressive, you can't sound aggressive, you can't be aggressive.
You're so right.
But we watch the white man that we look up to. Oh, we watch him be aggressive. I remember when they unalived Osama and they paraded through the streets. They never said we can't look like Osama and murder all. Because now with Osama, they murdered and unalived millions of innocent people to catch Osama. And nobody said you shouldn't look like the Taliban or Palestinians or Bin Laden and them for what they did to you. They said we're free now. But if the vengeance comes, but it looks like us, now it's like, you looking like them, man. You shouldn't be like them. That's what Christianity does. That's what hypocrisy does
That's
to us.
That was such a good. Sorry, real quick. That was such a great example of hypocrisy. They killed 1 million people in Iraq to get Osama bin Laden. They killed countless other people in Afghanistan. But once they got Osama bin Laden, to them it was even.
Yeah.
Say again. And as well as Saddam. To them, they was even. When just last week, they pissed off Donald Trump. He said Israel doesn't know what the fuck they doing.
Right.
That's what Donald Trump said. That's the difference between a free man and a man whose mind is in captivity. Like any animal, don't think it's not nothing special. It's no different than any animal. If you raise a dog up in your backyard and you raise a dog up in your house, that dog that lives in that backyard is way more vicious than that dog that lives in your house. It's as simple as that. Human nature or animal nature are very similar. And you raise up one animal one way, another animal another way, you got two different things. Last point real quick. The Lord said this. Is Israel a homeborn slave?
Yeah.
God asked that question. Is Israel, meaning there's a difference between a slave that's homeborn and a slave that's brought into captivity.
Right.
A slave brought into captivity, he's fighting you. He know you his enemy.
Right.
He's fighting you to get free. But a slave born in captivity, he think this is his life. He don't know nothing else. He don't know how to fight nothing else.
That's right.
And brother, we got to stop being homeborn slaves. We got to be unhomeborn slaves. Like the Lord said, who shall rise him up? That don't mean we go put hands on the white man specifically. But that means that we don't placate to his hypocrisy. We don't smile at his hypocrisy. We look at his hypocrisy for what it is, an act of white supremacy. And it must be stopped. Salakia.
Calm down, right. So you just need the mic.
Gone, right? Because this
No, he's
part.
still here. He just on mute.
No, sorry. This part right here, I don't know if this part is even perceptible from people, right? But is everything the Commander General Yahanna and Captain TAZARYACH were just saying. This week, sir, when Donald Trump said Israel and Iran don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I saw that Donald Trump is a convicted felon.
Right.
That he cheated on all his wives. Elon Musk said that he was on the Epstein files.
That's what he said.
I saw his whole campaign of grabbing the pussy and doing every evil thing that we're all taught not to do. And I thought about Barack Obama. And I thought about when they go high, we go low. I mean, when they go low, we go high. And at the same time, sir, you know, we went to many graduations this year because this is graduation season. And this bothered me at every graduation I went to this year. That you know what the hidden victory is in white supremacy? And this is so hard to see. I know white people don't notice this, but this is in front of all of our faces. You know what is a victor? What wins? If white supremacy wins, then being mediocre can rule the world. Just being an average Joe. When we as blacks and Hispanics, we have to be peculiar and rare and excellent. We have to be absolutely amazing to make it. When I watched Donald Trump win that election, and I thought about what your mother told you had to be to get a job. Now, listen, you know, the entire problem we have in this school is because when people see us, in their mind, we are not perfect black men.
Right.
Like we're supposed to be. We're not going to sink to their level. We're never going to even get angry. Do you know when you're black, you're not allowed to be angry? You're not allowed anger. You're not allowed hurt feelings. Right. You were trying to explain the what you tried to explain to the devil to the cat earlier.
The hypocrisy.
The point about
leaving
the victim statement.
Oh, right.
Listen, you're trying to explain, well, listen, man, if I've been raped and killed, my statement is going to be full of pain and hurt and anger. You know, we're not allowed to express that.
That's why he couldn't understand.
That's my point. I wasn't even going to say this because I know that Black men and black women and Hispanic men and Hispanic women are taught that we have to be perfect. And white people can be mediocre and become president. They can just be, you know what Donald Trump is? An average Joe. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I'm bombing them motherfuckers. Donald Trump is an average white man. That's it. And he can be president. Brother, we can't do a podcast. You understand what that, you know what that brother was saying earlier? That brother was telling us that we were wrong for being angry. Okay, let's say we're wrong for being angry. Forgive us. You forgive slavery. Why don't he just say, well, Commander General Yahanna is talking all this hate talk. I'm going to put that in the past. I'm going to ignore every evil, hateful thing that the UPK says, just like I ignore slavery and oppression and lynching. The white man can be forgiven for slavery. We can't be forgiven for talking about. We can't be forgiven for talking. To be black, it's such a burden. It's like it tires you out. Them young kids going to high school, I look at them and I know they don't know. They think getting this diploma is good enough. It is not. You have got to be superior, excellent, have an intellect and a forgiveness that's like God, and a mind that forgives the past. And you have got to be so special. And a white man can just be an average white man, and he's going to become president. That is the real victory in white supremacy. And that if you're white, you can just be average and make it.
That's it.
You can just be mad,
Be an ignorant,
idiot. Mad, drink, cocaine, snort. God, sir, do you know how many years? You know what we tell all our children, right? Don't do drugs. Don't you ever do drugs. Drugs are bad. Unless you're white and then snort coke and become president. Snort all the coke you want.
even if it gets found in the White House.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Stacey, you raise your hair. It's your hair, I'm not leaving.
I didn't mean to cut you
off.
That's such a heavy point, though. I mean,
it just ain't going to be heard.
Right.
And I don't know. It just can't be.
And that's everybody.
We got to fight every day because we're angry.
Right.
But white people don't have to fight every day for lynching and killing us. But we're wrong because I know why. Because we're black. Right. So we got to forgive that. We got to forgive slavery. We got to forgive lynching. We got to forgive what happened last week when the cop killed us. Last week. And you know what? We're supposed to, because we must be perfect, because a slave cannot be mediocre. Like, we're slaves, so only the best of us are going to make it, sir. But if you're white, snort coke, they find coke in the White House. Listen, Donald Trump gets convicted. Who even knew you could be president with a conviction? I didn't even know Donald Trump did things I didn't even know you could do because I'm black. So I thought this excluded you from being president. Yeah, I thought it was like, well, surely you can't be president with that.
Right. You
No.
can't be black and have a felony and do damn near nothing. Right. So it would just be common.
You can't work at Foot Locker. You can't work at Foot Locker. You can't work at Foot Locker as a felon.
It would make sense if you would say to yourself, well, I got a felony. I can't work at Foot Locker. I better not run for president because I know I won't get that. That'd be way up. Not Donald Trump.
Yeah, not Donald Trump. And if I can add on that, they paused the conviction. They changed the rule.
Dang.
When he was found guilty,
right,
they changed the rule because he was running for presidency. They said if you're running or something like that for office, you can't get convicted. Like, you can't go to jail. Like, the rules was changed for him once he got that, because that's how bad they wanted him to be in there, as, like you said, an average Joe.
As if I could, Commander General Yahanna brought up Barack Obama. That's why he was like a god to black people, because Barack Obama was everything they tell us we must be. He was that. Down to the haircut. He was head of Harvard, head of the top of his class, everything perfect. He didn't hate in the face of hatred. When they went low, he went high. That is what we have to be. Who succeeded him? A felon who grabs pussies. And that's just that. And that is tiring. And listen, our entire problem that black people have with us since 1969 is that we don't reflect the kind of perfect black men that you are supposed to be. That is it. That is what this. That's every battle you ever been in. Everyone, because every battle we have ever been in since 1969 is you ain't supposed to hate. White people ain't supposed to lynch or enslave, right? You forgave them, but why don't you just forgive us for hating white people? Wouldn't that be? That seems the easiest thing. We hate white people. Forgive us. Forgive us for it. Yeah, we hate white people.
I'll go a step further. Forgive us for what? Like you supposed to be able to say, well, a few black people gonna hate white people. It's obvious. You had Adam and slavery. Because they'll say there's a few ignorant white people who are still part of the Ku Klux Klan. We ain't gonna we know they over there. We gonna leave them where they are. But not us. What you saying is so true. That's heavy.
That's great. Did you still want to talk to him? But he had a bad reverb. I was going to go to the next call. Okay. We're going to do it. Okay, Most High Christ, sir. We can go to the next one. To 917, the reason why I'm not unmuting you, just so you know, you got a bad, horrible reverb. Maybe you want to hang up and come back. I will let you respond to everything that you heard. Matter of fact, unmute him real quick. Let's just see if his sound is still bad. 917, can you speak? I need you to stay on the line for a second. 917, you unmuted now. 917-995, are you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound a lot better now. Did you want to respond to what Commander Yahanna?
Nah, that's wrong. He's another 917, but that's not me.
Oh, that's not you. Okay, no sweat. Well, why we got you?
Nah.
No problem. Well, why we got you? What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Jimmy. I'm from Florida.
Okay, you got
peace and blessings to all you gentlemen. Appreciate y'all doing this. It's always a pleasure to learn from y'all.
All right.
But real quick, I was on the Call Chronicles with you the other day. I asked you a question about Cain and Abel and the respect and the lack of respect God had for them, and you helped me realize
the lack of respect you had for Cain. You mean not Abel?
Right. And you helped me realize how simple it was, and you know how sometimes when something's so simple, it just flies right over your head and you overlook it.
Right.
When you told me that, Cain didn't get his best, and then after that I'm rereading it and whatnot, and then I go and you tell me if I'm reaching on this, but when I read in verse 3 where it says, "And in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground." And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking like, well, most fruit don't grow on the ground except like melons and stuff. So I'm thinking like, and the reason I'm thinking that, because I got a mango tree, every morning when it's in season, I pick mangoes off the ground and whatnot. So I'm thinking, is that what Cain did? Just grab some fruit off the ground to present to the Lord? And that's why the Lord didn't have respect to what he did?
Did you want to answer, sir?
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah,
it's all right. Unless you,
yes, sir. No, I'm with
you. I think you might be missing a lot of the premise of the point of that he was saying. When he said that he brought of the fruit of the ground, he did mean all those fruits come out of the ground. Like fruits and vegetables grow in the dirt and they come out the dirt. And they on plants and trees and so forth. So when he said the fruit of the ground, he was talking about those things that grow in the ground. You know what I'm saying? Meat doesn't grow out of the ground. Meat comes from offspring, not out of the ground. So when it said he didn't have respect for Cain's offering because it was of the fruit of the ground, meaning not that he just picked it up off the ground, but that it was disrespectful. The Lord required a sacrifice for the sin that was done. Both of them, Cain and Abel, knew that God wanted a sacrifice because what was done was heinous.
Right.
You understand? It's just like a father on Father's Day, 1 million fathers across the United States get a pair of socks. And all the fathers know is disrespectful as hell. They done gave up their paycheck all year and they get it. Not that we celebrate Father's Day. My point is, when the sacrifice being made for you does not meet the sacrifice you made for your family.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what happened with Cain and Abel. Abel knew that this evil that breached our brotherhood and breached the righteousness in the kingdom of heaven, he knew that it required blood. And he gave the Lord that blood. He honored the Lord with his sacrifice. But Cain did not. Cain didn't respect that. He didn't look at that as a big deal. Same thing he did when he came back as Esau. He didn't respect the Lord's birthright and authority, which is why he sold it for that raw meat.
Mm-hmm.
He believed that meat should go to him more than it go to the Lord.
Right.
So he didn't respect that offering. And that's what angered the Lord and made the Lord banish him, because he knew what it took to bring it back. The white man don't care if the empire is a filthy, disgusting, evil cesspool.
Right.
He turns every major city of his into a cesspool. He could care less about that. As long as he's eating, long as he's getting money, as long as he's getting every quarter from the subway machine, long as you're buying transit cards, as long as he's getting parking ticket money, as long as every shop that you shop in, he's getting some money. They said United Fruit, the United Fruit Company, went burned down thousands of acres of the competitors, the actual local people's land. They burned their land up to take it over and put them out of business so that their business would be the only business taking fruit out of the country. That's all the white man cares about. When you see Donald Trump put a smile on his face about some business or some summit, you could tell Donald Trump where the money's at. All you got to do is look for him to smile.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When they presented that check, when they presented that jet over there in Qatar, brother, he liked to do the electric slide.
Right.
I thought he was going to fall right into the Jackson slide. He was coming down that thing. That money was there. That's how he thinks. And once again, the Lord is way wiser than money. Money is a defense, but money will never save you.
That's right.
Money will never deliver you. And the problem with the white man is he's a greedy bastard, and all he cares about is that money. So that sacrifice, he didn't want to give that good meat sacrifice to the Lord. He wanted to give him things that grew out of the ground. When that's
right, easy pickings.
You don't come bring fruits and vegetables to go on the altar of the Lord when something's been done so heinous that is nigh unto death. Breaking of them laws, statutes, and commandments by Adam and Eve opened up sin to come into the world. This low life just wanted to give the Lord some fruits and vegetables and tell the Lord to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord was angry with him and cursed him for it. And then he turned around and killed his brother on top of it, once again trying every way he can to cover that sin. So I hope that answers your question, that the Lord requires.
Oh, for sure.
And let me tell you something else, if I can add this. This is more for the caller before you. That's what we better learn about the Lord.
That's right.
The Lord is a man of war. The Most High is not the God you've been taught in church, in school, and all that. He is a man that he eats, sleeps, and drinks war. He thinks about war. He trains you in war. He raises up the prophets to be warriors. Everything about him is ultra masculine and about war. That is how his real and true nature is. Only the Lord show you how much of a man of war he is. The Lord raised up Moses, took the children of Israel out of Egypt, and then went and killed every nation in that area. Killed King Og, killed all them kings, burnt down Jericho.
Yeah.
Like he didn't he didn't say, all right, y'all out of Egypt now. Want y'all to grow some flowers and some fruits.
Right.
And y'all take care of each other. No. He went and sent them out to kill all them nations round about them. Took over the Middle East. Took over Jerusalem. Just killing and slaughtering every nation that went against the Lord. You go against the Most High, you're going to be slaughtered. You looking at America and its greatness, it's going to be slaughtered. All of Europe will be slaughtered. Russia, China, every Middle Eastern country, he's looking at every one of them, and he is about war. That's his nature. You understand? He has no other nature but that nature. And with that comes other things like mercy and so forth. But he make no mistake, he is a tactician of war, destroying his enemies. And he cursed Cain, brother. He cursed Cain like you ain't never been cursed before. Like here we are 6,000 years later, and Cain is about to get his judgment. That's a warrior he is.
That's right.
He chest walked Cain right into captivity for 6,000 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a man of war.
Uh-huh.
You understand? He blessed the 7 sons of Ishmael, the Arabs, gave them land and wealth and power. And what did they do? Enslaved us. Took our daughters and put them in their harems. Here we are 4,000 years later. He done chest walked the Arabs right into the Third World War. With all their oil and wealth and power, they about to get burnt alive in the Middle East. God is a man of war. He's a battler. And that's what he does. So that was the difference between those two sacrifices, if I could, y'all.
No, that's the way. Did you have any other question, brother? Let me see the calls.
Yeah, if you don't mind, this is a real quick question. The answer could be just a yes or a no.
We'll go to the call. Go ahead, brother.
Revelation 6 and chapter 6, verse 15 and 16. Because I know in
what chapter was that?
Revelation chapter 6.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 15 and 16. I know in many other places in the Bible, mountains and hills refer to nations, peoples, or whatever. So does the mountains in 15 and 16, is that a representative of Israel?
Can I read it for you, sir? First?
Please.
Concept. This is Revelation 6, verses 14 and 15. It says,
no, 15 and 16.
15 and 16.
Sorry.
And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. Verse 16. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb.
Now, in this case, when it says he told the mountains to fall on us, this is talking about them literally trying to go into the rocks and get away from the judgment that's due them. This is, go back up to the top if you could.
Yes, sir. Verse 15. And the kings of the earth and the great men. And
now the kings of the earth and the great men, that's everybody ruling now. That's Donald Trump. That's all these different leaders and rulers. Every, Kim Jong-un and everybody that's sitting up over bodies of people in great power and controlling those people and robbing the resources and battling over each other and getting millions of people killed. Those are those rulers sitting up over. But they said, what did they say? They went where?
Sir. And the mighty men and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains.
Right, in the dens and the rocks of the mountains, meaning they went into their country and dug into the rocks and the mountains to hide themselves. You hear a ton about rich people today buying these multi-million-dollar bunkers. You know what I mean? In nuclear silos, and they got elevators and automatic generators and all kinds of stuff. They know that they got to go hide themselves. I heard Oprah Winfrey got one in Hawaii. I don't know how true it is. They said the Rock, that cat, The Rock. They said he got one over there in Hawaii too.
With the volcanoes?
Right down under the ground.
Yikes.
That's what I heard. I don't know how true it is.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And other ones too. Tons of people are building those bunkers because they're going to go into them rocks when that wrath comes. What is that wrath? That wrath is the nuclear battle between Christ, the angels, and every nation on earth. They in power now. They shooting and killing and destroying, and wiping out parts of the earth. But in that day, the rockets will be shot at them. The missiles will be shot at them. And they will run and hide and forget all the poor people on the earth. That's why the Lord said the kings of the earth and the rulers, because they got the wealth to do it. And they're going to run down in it. They have a mountain. I'm sure you know about this mountain. They got a mountain the military has called Cheyenne Mountain, right? And Mount Weather. They got several of them. These are huge mountains that they cut the mountain open, put a giant blast on, and can open that door, fill it up with people and equipment, and then shut that door back in an attempt at hiding themselves from the nuclear bombs. So that means they're going to literally go into their countries and then go dig into the earth and try to set themselves up. They ain't going to go to another country. They're going to do it in their own country.
Right.
So I hope that answers.
Sure does.
All right, brother. We appreciate the call, all right?
Not a problem. Appreciate it. Catch you on the Call Chronicles.
Hey, no sweat. All right. You good to go, sir?
I'm good to go.
Yes, sir. 646-232. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Nicholas. Shalom. My name is Nicholas. I'm calling from the city, New York.
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Right,
We got a question on comment?
I need edification, man.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Edification. All right. Daniel's 12:4. It's it's an honor to be in you guys' presence, especially the general. It's an honor. All right. So Daniel 12:4, it says, "Men shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase." All right. And in 1 Peter 4:11, I believe it says, if any man speak, let him speak as if he's the oracle of the Most High. All right. So during and I teach my children and my nieces and my nephews, so I want to teach them the right thing. I don't want them to seem like bigots, right? So during my intense research, I found out most slave masters in the epoch of the colonial Americas in the West Indies were black and wax pale, mixing with white English.
You found out most of the what?
White English. I found out most of the slave masters in the British America and in the West Indies and colonial America were black and wax pale. I heard they were black. I read that they were black. I'm looking at it and they black men. These are black men, and I'm seeing that they wax pale, mixing with white English women and Polish women. I'm learning these so-called white slave masters are Moors from Europe who wax pale. So this doctrine of calling all white people in America Esau, is it outdated without doing research of their genealogy, thorough research of their genealogy? Do you believe before we be on the highways and hedges calling these people Esau, we have to do genealogy? And this because we have to be of the oracles of the Most High when we speak.
Yeah. If I could, you need a little bit more research, brother. You're trying to get there, and I understand, but you do need a lot more research because you're missing quite a few things. First of all, you can call every white man the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right. Clap
you understand?
that up. Yeah, clap that up.
For so many reasons, because his bloodline, no matter what country he's in, if he is of the bloodline of Esau, the Edomites, from any nation of the Edomites, from any of the families that came out of the caves and set them up throughout Russia and throughout Europe, then they're an Edomite. And you can call people for what they are based on their family lineage. Now, here's where you have a misconception at, all right? Let me explain something to you about during the time of slavery. What happened is this. The United States was getting away from slavery long before the British Empire was getting away from slavery. And what happened is the British Empire was now telling the United States, we want our slaves back, because they were fighting, they fought a civil war, and these slaves were living free while they were still. Can you hear me, brother? Let me take these headphones.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, but he can hear you though.
Okay. These slaves were being free. So now when Britain said, wait a minute now, y'all might have let slaves free, but we're not letting them slaves free. What the Americans did was take a bunch of slaves that were freed, that fought in the Civil War, and they set them up. A lot of times you hear black people talk about there was black presidents before the white presidents, or you hear them talk about there was 13 presidents before George Washington. What the misconception is, these were black ex-slaves that they set up in colonies. And those colonies were black people. They was not presidents. They was not slave masters. They were just colonies that they set up in the Americas in an attempt to not send the slaves back to Europe. A great part of them was King James' family, the Stuart family. The Stuart family came on this side of the United States running from the European leaders, James and all of them, not James, but the ones that hated James, the Catholic Church and so forth. They got set up in power over here in the United States. And as they got set up in power and went to war with Europe, they turned around and took these brothers and sisters and set them up in colonies. When they couldn't contain them, they moved them into the Caribbean. If you go check the history of Turks and Caicos, and some of the Virgin Islands, you're going to find out that a lot of those are families that came from the European Stuart families. Those families were black, but they were not the slave owners. Those families was running from those that was ruling in Europe. So there's no misconception. Those brothers were not slave owners in the majority that they were talking about that were black. They weren't slave owners, but they were rulers trying to gain power so that they wouldn't be put back into slavery. So check your history out and find out that it was not black people that were sitting up in there enslaving these groups. It was black people sitting up there trying to free them and empower them from that captivity.
Goes both
So
ways.
you got to check that history. So that was
Goes both ways.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
and if I could, and you made a statement in the very beginning. You said that you just want clarification because you don't want your children to be bigots. Because you wanted to be clear on what it is that the history is. Your children should be bigots regardless of who was ruling in slavery. It wasn't black people. But even if it was black people, your children should be bigots. Why? Because your children are,
I don't want them to be colorblind.
you don't know what I was talking about?
He said he don't want them to be colorblind.
No, I don't want them to be
I got
colorblind.
you.
I don't want
They
them
need to be colorblind. Black people in America need to be colorblind real bad. Latinos in America need to be colorblind real bad.
I want them to check their.
Hey, you gotta be quiet for a second.
Hang on a second. Let me explain.
Forgive me.
Listening is an art, and there's a time. Hebrews 5:12 said, "For the time you ought to be a teacher, you must first be taught." Commander Johnny Yahanna is trying to teach you, brother. Just sit back and listen.
Let me tell you something, Mom. Here's why every child should be a bigot. Because white people are bigots against you. That's how they rule over you and control you.
Mm-hmm.
White people do that. If a white child goes to an elementary school with all black students, those black students will come together, will love and protect that white child and brush her hair. If a black child goes to a white school with all white students, those white students will call that child nigger, treat him like an outcast, and banish them from everything in that school. They'll have to work 10 times harder, like Muhammad brought out earlier, just to make it in that school. That's the difference. And that's why your children should be bigots. Your children should prefer their own. The scripture say, give me this scripture real quick where the Lord said, every animal liketh its kind. Like it's dumb to not like and prefer your own kind. That is right or wrong. That is the dumbest thing in the world. I'm not knocking you, brother, but trying to shield your kids from looking at white people funny is ridiculous because for hundreds of years, they've been teaching their kids not to like yours. Donald Trump, half the country voted for Donald Trump. Donald Trump ran on hating Latinos. And he didn't go and do no research on the history of Latinos to see if they were slave masters. He just got up and said they was rapists and selling drugs. That's all he did. He didn't go, I checked into the Caribbean history of the Caribbean islands, and we found out that they were actually black Latino slave owners, so let's now kick them out the country. He didn't do that. You know why? Because Donald Trump is a bigot. Donald Trump rules with bigotry. I'm gonna hit you with something else. You're gonna bring that scripture first, all right? Oh, you pulling the scripture, right?
I'm looking. Yeah,
oh, okay. We're gonna get that scripture, and then we need to pull that scripture where the Lord said, when he sets us among the other nations, 7 nations more powerful than us, not to marry. God specifically told us to be bigots. I know you're probably not ready for this. Your church certainly is not. Most of you out there are not ready for this scripture I'm about to read. You know what I mean? Those of us that have been around the truth for years, we know about these scriptures. They don't even faze us. But many of you your brain can't comprehend that God told you to be a bigot for self-survival. God told you to be a racist for self-survival. I'm about to read them to you right now. You got the first one?
The one you went after when you made every animal after his own kind?
Yes.
This is Genesis 1. It's like Genesis 1 and 24.
No, the one where he said he loveth his kind. Oh, you know that one I'm talking about?
I'm fine. I thought you was looking
at Salak. Let's get that one where he said everyone loveth his kind.
Kind of what kind of said?
Kind the water. And it's ridiculous to act. Even in the animal kingdom, every animal loves its kind. Animals don't hang out and mix with other animals. That's why white people always coming on YouTube trying to show you a bird, a duck, and a cat all living together. Right. They all sleeping on each other, living. They living together because they oppressed like you Negroes are. That cat, you see that cat laying down and he ain't eating the bird, and the bird sitting up there with another animal. They oppressed. Their whole spirit is oppressed, which is why they working together. Now let that cat get out there with his cat homies. His homies gonna tell him, man, meow, you got bird, nigga. And he gonna go kill the bird. Or the bird crew gonna get together and say, no, man, we ain't going down there with them cats. Them cats will kill us. Every animal loves its own kind. He prefers his kind. I'll read the other one first while Muhammad pull the other one, if you don't mind.
Yeah, because I don't see that one. What's the other one you're looking for?
He's going in the pocket. The one where the Lord, the one in Deuteronomy where the Lord said not to marry them.
Oh, Deuteronomy 7.
Like the Lord wanted you to be a bigot. This is a hard pill to swallow. I don't expect everybody to be able to swallow this pill. This pill right here is too tough to swallow. Black people can't imagine that God would make you think this way. And if I could, just to take to the brother, it's not thinking this way why we are destroyed. And let me tell you something. By not thinking that way, your children are going to be a victim. Yes, sir. Because white kids grow up believing they're superior to black kids. Your kid is going to grow up not wanting to be superior than those white kids, and those white kids are going to victimize your kid because those white kids are going to think for themselves over your child. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Deuteronomy 7 and 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with. Yes, sir. Verse 2. And when the Most High God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
You see what the Lord said? When he delivers these nations before us, he said to kill them and utterly destroy them. You know why he said to do that? Why would God be so?
It's like I ain't gonna talk. I was just saying I found the one.
Oh, okay. Like, let me tell you something. Why would God be so cruel to say that? Why would God say to slay these people and utterly destroy them? Why would he do that? Because God knows something about these people that you don't know, that we have never learned in this place in 400 years. God knows that left alone, these people will slay you. And that's why he said it, and he's going to explain it. Go ahead, Art.
Yes, sir. Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
No covenant, no deals. No agreements to work with them. The Lord doesn't want you making any agreements to work with them. None. And why? Because he knows they're going to break that agreement.
That's right.
He knows they're going to break that agreement and manipulate you and destroy you. And so he's giving you the tools to not be manipulated. You want to understand how to live in America with these nations around you that hate you, that are racist against you? You better learn what the Lord learned, what the Lord taught us, not what you think in your own mind. Every Latino in America is supposed to now say, I am not being right and fair and good with white people anymore. White people should feel the pinch. They should be going into the hood, opening up the food carts they open up. That should be done in the hood. They should stop cooking food in these top posh restaurants. They should leave those restaurants and go get black people and say, open a restaurant, black man, in the hood. I'm going to come work for you, man. They should team up with black people. And black people would have businesses again and be hiring Mexicans. And when ICE come, black people will lock the door. White people going to turn you over to them. But black people going to work with you with it. So that's what you should be doing. You should prefer your own. You should be bigoted against the people who are bigoted against you. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Nor show mercy unto them.
Nor show mercy on them. You know why? Because they're not going to show mercy to you. And the Lord knows it. So he's telling you don't have mercy on them. Not only not to be bigoted, but to have no mercy on them. Because why? They'll snatch your baby out your arm and drag you off. You'll go fight a war for them, and you'll come home and your mama will be in a cage. Be getting ready to be shipped to Afghanistan, to the same place you went and fought and killed for. Same place that you went and got in a tank and drove across the desert floor and blew up Afghanistanians. You're going to come back to America and find out that your mama's on a plane right back to Afghanistan into the hands of the very people you fought America for. That's how hypocritical this place is. That's how cruel this place is. That's how much they will not care about you. So the Lord says, show them no mercy. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Verse 3, neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Neither marry them, God said. God wants you to be bigoted. God wants you to examine your people versus their people. He said, don't make no marriages with them. Don't marry them. Stay out of the foreign coochie. You Negroes done got up into that white coochie, and every ball player's broke. Every actor is jammed up. That old simpleton, that cat that married Megan Good, I felt so bad for that brother. He was he was getting ready to be a major. I mean, he was so good in that movie. What's that movie he did with Irvin? With that, but he did the one. I haven't seen that one yet, but he did the one with Idris.
Idris Elba.
The
Western movie. Yeah. What was the West? I forgot.
Remember that?
But that was good. The Harder They Fall. He was real good in that.
He should have got an Academy Award.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
And so should have the sister that do the Boondocks. Who been around? She been around a long time.
Yeah.
She should have got an Academy Award.
Yeah, they did a good role in that.
You understand? Like, that was a hell of a movie. You know what I mean? And he went and got with that white girl, and I mean, they slam dunked his entire career. His whole career went in the toilet. And if it wasn't for Megan Good, he might have committed suicide. Go ahead.
And the video showed him running away from her.
Yes.
And her chasing him.
You know it was a false case. He should have never been convicted of nothing. He was trying to escape that $2 off. You know what I mean? And that's why you, again, following the Lord's law, you shouldn't hide from the fact that you're going to have more than one woman.
Right.
I don't even understand that. If I got, what's his name?
Jonathan Majors.
If I'm Jonathan Majors, brother, and a broad says she want to come and get with me, I'm going to be clear as crystal. You know I'm Jonathan Majors. Right? You know I got about 12 inches of pipe waiting on whoever comes gets there. Now, it's insane for you to believe that it's going to be you and me, you know, like the Brady Bunch. You as dumb and simple as you could be. I'm Jonathan Majors. I'm worth X amount of millions of dollars.
Right.
I'm tearing up all the meat that I desire at my young age. because God said I can. And he should have never been in that kind of position.
Right.
He should and lost his whole career once again trying not to be a bigot, trying to get with a white girl. Same with the tennis star. What's his name? Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Woo!
Golf. Yeah, the golf. Yep.
Same thing. Sports figure, actors.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods. I mean, amazing career. Follow, father taught him everything he knew. Denied his blackness. He ain't black. Said he wasn't black. He was Malaysian.
He was Malaysian.
Whatever the fuck that is. said he was Malaysian.
He was blazing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, she Malaysian that ass when she went for that money.
Yeah.
Took all that money, crashed up the car, psychologically messed him up.
Ain't played golf right since.
He ain't played right since. Beat him with a golf club. Beat him with a golf club. Beat him like a nigga in the night.
She was the maid or something like that.
Yes, and you're right. She was the maid.
Go back to General Hyman's point. She was a regular white girl.
Even the fact that he would go with the maid, say she, an average white woman, just like you said, can be with Tiger Woods. Yeah. But an average black woman can't be with, whoever that, whoever white boy is this.
Oh, with any white boy. Right.
Like you don't never see an average black woman with, except for that Robert De Niro. He loves a black woman. He loves a black woman. So he done had average black women. My point is this. That's how you fight racism. We've been trying to fight racism by trying to include ourselves with these people.
That's right.
When you got to not include, you got to empower your own. Like I mentioned earlier, it's 75 million blacks and Latinos in this country. If all we did was empower ourselves as opposed to them, you would see a sea change in the world we live in.
That's right.
Our lives would change overnight. And the only reason that they do what they do is because they think our lives should not change. What you holding up? I just want to read this.
The end of Deuteronomy 7:3, and then Ecclesiastes concept. It says, "Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto thy son."
Don't give your daughter to these other people, man. Why would you give that royal bloodline of your daughter to one of these other nations, man? You know what I mean? There was a time when a black woman could not bring a white boy home to her father's house. Her father would throw her and the white boy out. It has always been a time when a white boy couldn't bring a black woman home.
That's right.
That was normal. It was every day, normal, every week, all the time. But the reverse, forget about it. Rarely, but it happened that you couldn't do it either. Go ahead.
Nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Go ahead.
That's the end of that. I'm sorry.
No, the next verse is so important. Yeah.
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
This is the most important reason that you should be a bigot. Because God said he will turn your son from following me, which is so heavy. God is saying, if you allow your son to not be a bigot and love every nation equally, your son will stop serving me. That's what God said. He's smarter than man. He knows your son going to become a Buddhist. Your son going to become a Muslim. Your son going to become a Christian loving the white Jesus. Your son is going to love every God, religion, custom, way of life, and clothing of some other nation instead of him. So he said, how do you combat it? How do you fight this? By being a bigot. By being a bigot against those nations, man. And guess what? That's how they have fought you. They fought you by making sure their wealthy white people don't ever join you. Don't ever become a part of you. Once a white girl gets her millions and divorces her white husband or whatever husband she got, she don't go get another black man. Please. But, you Kanye West, worth $1 billion. And you out trying to spin the block on repeat on them white girls. You on repeat trying to get a white girl because you think like a slave. You won't be bigoted. You think like a slave, and that's not the way we're supposed to be. I hope that answers. You got one more real quick?
Got one more.
I know I'm running on. Y'all stop me anytime you get ready.
Now, we usually end at midnight. But if you want
whatever you decide, whatever you do, I'm glad to be here. I'm
just running it down.
You know, man. You know, you should know me by now. You know what I'm saying?
God, sir.
I'm gonna go till it's done. You gotta just be like, oh, we shut down.
God, sir. The scripture you was looking for, the other one was Ecclesiasticus 13:15.
Let's hit that.
It says, every beast loveth his like. And
every beast loveth his like. Whether you know it or not, man is a beast. And he loveth his like. If you ain't loving your like, something is wrong with you. If you black and don't like a pretty chocolate brown or pretty light-skinned brown Latino, if you are black or Latino and you somehow say, well, I don't want that black woman with that big butt. I want a white girl with a flat butt. And that old pointy nose. You have a mental illness. Something happened to you. You done decided to not like your kind when God said he made you that way.
That's right.
He made you to like your kind. You not liking your kind, something is wrong. Go ahead,
And every man loveth his neighbor.
And every man loveth his neighbor. His neighbor ain't talking about any old human next to him. It's talking about his people. That is his neighbors, the ones in his world, in his community. They do it today, every day, to black people. There's certain neighborhoods you can't even hardly go in. I was just in upstate New York, and we rode through a area in upstate New York called Pelham. We left Mount Vernon, and we went into an area named Pelham with these rich white houses up.
Right.
Brother, they had cops at every entrance and exit of this neighborhood. And I was not surprised. I said, the brothers were saying, yeah, man, we got to be cool riding through here because they got the cops all out here. They make sure the cops is here because this area is called Pelham. And this is an area where wealthy people live. Not Pelham Parkway, but Pelham, New York.
Right.
And I said, I'm not surprised because they love their kind. And they want their kind separate from the rest of the kinds. So they make sure they have extra policing in that area. So every beast loveth his kind. That was it on that scripture,
yes, sir.
Right? So we got the wrong mentality when it comes to that. So, brother, you should want your kids to grow up to be a bigot. I know that's a hard pill to swallow. People don't want to hear that. They think it's wrong. They think it's all this. And let me tell you something. White people will get worse until you do realize. White people are going to force you. And so are the other nations. They're going to force you to take care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourselves, guess what? You'll give all your money to the chicken joint. You'll give all your money to the Chinese man. They will suck you dry till there's nothing left of the black and Latino community until you realize we got nothing and they have everything. Let's help ourselves get something. Then you'll be a bigot like them. You'll start preferring yours over them because you'll get tired of being robbed to the drain down to the bone. Like a dead man. You'll be tired of that. And then you'll want to help your own so that your own can come up.
That's right.
It's unintelligent for your own kind. So we got this. All right. Water for having me.
Hey, no sweat.
I appreciate
it. Big up to Commander Johnny Hahn, dropping down all that wisdom. Big up to General Hyman standing across the line radio. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. Always tune in every Thursday. Make sure y'all tune in to Black Watch Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. And you never know when there's a pop event. Tomorrow on Roundtable of Truth, big up to Captain Mao Quad and the whole Chicago crew. Captain CHAATAZA is going to be the guest on there doing a breakdown on the history of why you should love the Mexicans. And they're your brother. I've been talking about Mexicans all week. I had a black woman call the show and told me I was showing too much favoritism to the Latinos and the Mexicans. And that's insane. And to a point, when I bring up the history of the Mexicans fighting for blacks to be free from slavery before whites ever thought about freeing them, they still try to find and wiggle away and say, well, you know, out here in California, the Mexicans is unaliving Mexicans. And I say to myself, ain't the Bloods unaliving the Crips? Like, what is amazing? Okay, our people killing our people is not nothing new. So, and I always ask them, I say, if the white man loved them, would you love the Mexicans? Because that's really what it comes down. Like they become, when you love this oppression, when you love America, whoever their enemy is, that's your enemy.
That's right.
Whoever they love, that's who you love. That's why everybody will fight us for saying that we gotta love the white man, but they hate the Mexicans.
Fight us if we say we
They fight us if we say we hate the white man.
Right.
But they justify themselves hating the Mexicans
That's
because
so
the white
heavy.
man said they hate the Mexicans.
That's so heavy.
Most High Christ. And that shows you how racist they really are.
Like the amount they fight us over hating white people is just ridiculous.
Right.
But over the Mexicans is not a problem. We get up tomorrow and say we hate the Mexican, we don't get no beef
at all.
But we say we don't like the white man, we get nothing but some damn beef. And again, the Most High is a man of war. A real man of war would understand the opportunity that's presented before him. When you at battle, excuse me, and you see that someone who's not necessarily your enemy, you see them fall. That's your opportunity to join them to you against your enemy.
Right.
Instead, you don't want to join the Mexicans with you against your enemy. Instead, you want to be against the Mexicans more than you want to be against the white man.
Right.
You voted for the white man in, while he said that your people were a bunch of thieves and drug addicts and drug dealers. That's what he said about you. And you so dumb. You let Donald Trump get rid of the Latinos, and guess what? In a minute, Mexico will be another state of the United States. And your dumb ass will be riding with a pickup truck saying, "Free Mexico. Mexico don't belong to America. It belongs to us." Your dumb ass shouldn't have voted for Donald Trump then. Your dumb ass shouldn't have tried to join on to them. You hated the Mexicans, but you got no problem. And that's an amazing witchcraft. The white man has spun a web of absolutely amazing witchcraft on us, where no matter what he does, we don't have no problem with it. He tell you to your face, you Mexicans are bringing drugs, you doing this, and you just join it. You join it more, and get buried behind. Donald Trump said the African countries were shithole countries. Every African voting for Donald Trump. You think Matubu would be like Matubu?
Right.
Don't vote for him. No,
Right.
He knew what to do. He said you in a shithole country and got all your votes. We should wake up. We should wake up fast. So
no sweat, sir. So with that, we'll see y'all next week. We clap it up. Make sure y'all tune in every Thursday, 10 p.m. to midnight. We have Cross the Line Radio until